So this is not a good start to the week. It's Sunday night and we're going to the laundromat. It's -3 out, and the reason we're here is because someone just called me and said they heard bad things coming from the laundromat, and the fire department was here because they also heard bad things coming from the laundromat and a pipe broke somewhere. So we're gonna go see what's going on. All right, so that says DF, and it's not freezing in here, but it's not super warm. And we're gonna check out back here and see how horrible it is. Hold on. That's not even the right code. Okay. There we go. You have a nice view of the toilet while I do that. Oh boy. Where's my light? How did that happen? Whoa, it's just ice over there. That's crazy. Well, I guess this is my first time experience. It's not even, it doesn't feel cold in here either. And that makes sense because why would it, if you have a pipe that freezes, it should stay frozen until it thaws. But I don't know exactly where. It must have been one of these. They're still wet. Unless it came from the ceiling somehow or was spraying up here. Maybe, I don't know. I don't see. They said they turned off a blue valve and a red valve and it stopped. Down there, probably that one. So the laundromat actually still might work. We'll test that. Oh yeah, there's the blue valve. I think these are just coming into the car wash. But, oh, there it is, right there. There's the burst. So this wall, it must have been sitting up against that wall, and that's what happened. Crazy, and it was shooting straight up against here. And for some reason, they must have unplugged that light. The fire department does stuff like that. Is that frozen too? Or is that just wet? No, that's just wet. Okay. So, honestly, it could be worse. And how this came about was someone who was in the laundromat using it said they heard very bad things coming from back here. So I'm really glad they called and someone was here late. That's for sure. I don't know if there's a drain here. They said there was like an inch of water in here before. So I think it is draining. That's crazy. That wall just must be freezing, and it was so close to that wall. Okay. Well, it could be worse. We're in Kersey. Anyway, we expect everything to go wrong here. So I assume this is, oh, now it says 21. That's weird. Usually it says the temperature up there. Okay. Well, would I rather have someone calling me because her pipe broke or because one of the laundromats or one of the washing machines is not working? I don't know. But I'll try and squeegee some water away from that apartment and see if I can clean this up a little bit. And I guess we'll put the heater in there. I think it's just that wall. I don't think that's going to help. I thought maybe this room would be freezing, but it's not. It's chilly, but it's not like, oh, that's not freezing. It's not actually, it's just that wall that's freezing. Huh. Okay, well, more adventures in Kersey. Okay, it's the next day, and this is my most recent video I did on the laundromat when I was locked out and it was supposed to be open. We just posted that video over the weekend. But I did not go back to the laundromat today. This happened Sunday night. It's now Monday. It is still super cold, snowy today. The wind is blowing. So honestly, there's no reason for me to go back there. It's about 20 miles away. It's in a small town. It's really not a safe drive to make right now if I don't need to. So I did go to the other laundromat in Greeley and cleaned it up. And boy, let me tell you, when there's a storm, they get really, really, really dirty. That's for sure. But I think I learned a few more things about what might have happened. Because our contractor did go over there, and we talked to our HVAC guy, and still not completely sure what happened. But we learned that mini split, when it was saying DF, that stood for defrost. And it was shutting itself off and defrosting. And then the 21 was the temperature in Celsius, which is actually like 70. But it was no way 70 degrees in there. And it's hard to tell when you walk inside from -3 to know exactly what the temperature is, because anything above 40 feels amazing. But I think what happened was that mini split kept shutting off and let it get too cold, and there wasn't enough heat getting into that back room. So obviously that wall probably doesn't have any insulation on it either, which is another double whammy. But that's why the pipe froze, then probably burst, because as I was saying, if you have a frozen pipe, it usually won't start leaking or flooding a place until it thaws out and it gets warmer. But if that mini split was going on and off, and the temperature was fluctuating, getting colder, getting warmer, getting colder, getting warmer, and that's probably what happened and caused it to freeze, and then it got warm enough to burst and spray the ceiling and everything in there. So my contractor was in there. We've got dehumidifiers in there. He shot back out as much water as he could. We'll see how much damage there is. He said probably the ceiling and insulation all needs to be replaced in there. All the books and manuals and stuff are soaked. A lot of that was from the previous owners. I don't know how important it is to have those. Probably not that important. Probably not a big deal. The floor, I guess we'll see what it looks like after everything is dried out and cleaned up. If it needs to be replaced or not, we'll just have to go from all that. The plumber's already been out there. He's already fixed that pipe. My contractor did put a couple of space heaters in there to help keep that wall warm. So another adventure in Kersey. Now, what's really annoying is that we spent quite a bit of money on that brand new mini split to be a better source of heat than the giant kind of shop heater they had hanging in the wall there before. But had we not done that and kept that giant shop heater, this probably wouldn't have happened, although it may have caught the building on fire too because it wasn't working quite right. But it was generated a tremendous amount of heat that blew all the way through that building to the back. So, like I said, it could have been way, way worse. I don't know if I explained exactly what happened in the beginning, but I got a call. We have our number up in the laundromat, and someone called and said, hey, there's big problems at the laundromat. The back room is making horrible sounds. I think a pipe is broken. You need to do something ASAP. I'm like, oh my gosh. So I texted them and said, hey, is this Greeley or Kersey? They said it's Kersey. I already called dispatch and they're coming over. I'm like, oh my gosh, thank you. So they called the 911 or dispatch, and the fire department came right away, and I was getting in my truck to drive over there, and the fire department called me. I gave them the code to that back door. They went in there. They shut off the water. They got the pipe, the water shut off to the back area. And not only was that awesome because they're able to get there, at least 20 minutes before I was, maybe more, but I wasn't the one back there in a sea of water, falling from the sky and ceiling, trying to figure out where the turnoffs were, where the shutoffs were in my coat and no hat. Well, I don't know how much gear they had, but I'm sure they're used to dealing with water and the elements and things like this. So it was super nice that they were able to come and do that. And honestly, I don't even know if I would have thought about calling the fire department to help with a situation like this, but I guess that's a hint for all of us and help for all of us. If you have a situation and you're not there right away, hey, that's what they're there for, to go help in situations like that. And the fire department's been awesome whenever I've dealt with them. So that's the Laundromat story for this weekend. It is still working. The water on the Laundromat side is still working, even with before our plumber went and fixed the other side. So we don't even need that water on, honestly, to the car wash, because the car wash is not operational right now. So we can just leave that off. The only thing, well, the bathroom wasn't working. The sink and toilet were not working. So actually we do need to have that on, because however that plumbing is run, it does operate the toilet and bathroom sink off of that. So never mind, scratch that idea. But the sink and all the washing machines and everything work with those valves shut off. We still have some things we need to do here. Fix some machines and add some new machines and do some different stuff. And now we need to do a little bit of remodeling in that back room. So there's always excitement. There's always something going on in the world of real estate, that's for sure. And like I said, it could have been so much worse had someone not been doing laundry at 9 to 9:30 at night. I guess it's more like 9, and heard that. And someone could have easily ignored it and not told us. And that could have been going all night long, or even longer, if no one told us. And, we probably wouldn't have gone out there today because of the weather. On a normal Monday or Tuesday, I go out there, but it probably would have been a Tuesday, and that could have been going for 2 days. Although if it was going that long, it probably would have gone into the apartment next door, and they would have called us, hopefully, and told us. But still, by getting it fairly quickly, who knows how long it was going, that prevented a ton of damage and issues that could have happened. So definitely thankful for that. Thankful for the fire department helping out. And we check a lot of things. Like it's supposed to be down to minus 21 tonight. So even colder tonight. We're always trying to check our houses, check the heat, make sure everything's good. But I have a lot of different things going on. And even checking stuff and making sure heat's on and different things, you have problems, you have things that break, there could be issues. So that's one of the challenges of very, very cold weather. Very, very cold weather is definitely not the real estate investor's friend or business owner's friend in this situation. So it's supposed to warm up later this week. Hopefully that happens. And then hopefully we don't have any other issues. We did have another property at the complex, the house, that had pipes freeze. And that's happened before too. And they haven't burst or broken. They've just frozen up. Then when they thawed out, they were fine. But I was literally there filming a couple of days ago to show one of the other units that may or may not be leaving. And I saw their cellar door was open in that house. And I was going to say something. I was going to mention it. I totally forgot. But I'm just wondering, did you leave your cellar door open when it was minus 10 out? Because that's how you freeze your pipes underneath your house, is by doing stuff like that. And so I don't know for sure if they did that. They claimed it was closed, but of course they're going to say that. So that's the only other issue we've heard of so far. But I know the plumber we use has had quite a few calls of other places freezing up issues, not mine, but other clients' properties. So it's always interesting when it gets this cold. You got to be very careful, very responsive, and try and be preventative too. So not only is it very costly and expensive when something freezes up, but we use a lot of utility money to heat these places and make sure that they're staying warm, because sometimes it's tough for places to keep up when it's this cold, especially older properties that don't have the best insulation, best windows, things like that. So we live, we learn, and we keep going. Obviously, we need to fix some insulation on that wall, find a different situation back there. And luckily, the laundromat didn't freeze either. That could have been a disaster as well if we had a pipe break in there and the whole wall and ceiling and stuff were flooded here that were just redone. Luckily, it's just a back area that wasn't that important, wasn't, hadn't just been remodeled. So again, things could be way, way, way worse. All right, well, that's all we've got for today. As you can see, not much money in the laundromat either. So, I could say, hey, at least it's making money to account for these repairs. But no, it's not. But we're still working on that issue as well. All right, we'll have lots more laundromat videos coming up soon. We'll have information on the new laundromat. We'll have information, videos on the liquor store, mini mart, our flips, rentals, all that good stuff. So stick around. It's an exciting time of year.